We start right off with that exclusive interview. The man once behind American Apparel, known for its racy ads, provocative clothing, and its models. Some say those ads crossed the line and that the CEO did too. At work in his underwear, even after he was gone, a video that suddenly went viral where he's not wearing any apparel, American or otherwise. Tonight he's fighting back right here, and whose side will you be on? Gio Benitez with the interview.
It's a sunny day in California, and I journey to this castle to meet a banished prince.
Good to see you.
His name is Dov Charney, one of the most controversial and outrageous executives in corporate America.
Is this where you get your inspiration from? Like this view here? I mean,
Actually, make that ex-executive. See, Dov, the very bad boy of boxer briefs and deep VTs, was unceremoniously ousted last year from the garment giant American Apparel.
Dov Charney ousted by the company's board yesterday.
After being terminated by a unanimous board decision, the company's board has fired him.
And now, for the first time, he's ready to talk about it.
there's everything, no holds barred here.
This 10-bedroom bachelor pad doesn't look like the home of a pauper, but the exiled exec says he's flat broke.
This doesn't exactly look like the kind of place where someone who's hurting would live, huh?
Yeah, but it could hurt anywhere.
Charney, the Canadian who loves all things American, brought us here in an effort to overcome allegations of sexual misconduct and mismanagement.
Fall of the Sleaze King. Are you the Sleaze King?
I'm not the Sleaze King. I want everybody to know I'm not the Sleaze King. I have nothing to do. The Sleaze King is another guy.
Covers like this one aren't winning you any brownie points, are they?
Well, I'm not a Girl Scout.
Someone we talked to said Dov Charney is very likable. He's just not a normal human being.
Was that my mother?
That was my first taste of this man's oddball affect. And I'm not the only one who's experienced the full Charney.
Yeah! I'm not happy with something, so, you see, I'm not happy with the beat. I know we can do better there.
Since Charney founded the company, American Apparel distinguished itself as a company that, against every trend, manufactured clothing in the U.S., paying its workers far above the industry average.
A good worker can make $13-14 an hour, and their colleagues are working in sweatshops where they're paying cash for $5.
Come on up, Dov.
We saw the Dov love ourselves at this rally of current and former employees who believe he can save their troubled company.
He's a great man, a great boss.
Someone here said he needs us as much as we need him.
Well, because they know who I am, and I know who they are.
Pronto posible.
That he can return to that company.
Look at all these people. They were praying for you. Praying for you.
Well, passion takes many forms. I'm touched. I'm touched.
Amen.
But Charney is not universally adored. He's equally famous for building the brand by pushing the limits of good taste and sexual propriety when it came to marketing its clothing.
So early on, you were criticized for using very young models for those ads.
Okay.
So we have some of the pictures here. These that really, some say, border on kiddie porn.
Okay, but you're saying kiddie porn and you're saying young models, but our models have generally been older, the age.
But made to look younger.
But
like
I don't know,
bubble
that's
gum.
made to look younger is very subjective.
Looking back, though, do you think you pushed the envelope too far?
I'm sure we pushed the envelope too far a couple times. That's why you make the next ad right away.
By 2005, the company was growing by leaps and bounds, earning $211 million in profits. And by early 2007, they went public. For Charney, it was always about breaking boundaries. And that was the driving force behind both his rise and fall. See, as the profits were piling up, so were allegations, lots of them, that his sexual enthusiasm wasn't just a marketing ploy, but that it created a sexually charged, hostile work environment.
There's a sexual element to fashion that's inescapable. So to then start saying, let's get scared about sex, we can't mention the word sex in the workplace. I mean, it just doesn't add up. It's not right.
What do you think your weakness is? Is it women, sex, passion? What's your weakness?
My weakness is probably not knowing what my weaknesses are at all times.
Did you ever sexually harass any employee?
No. I've never engaged in any activities that could be characterized as sexual harassment.
And yet, despite his denials, the headlines and court filings started raining down. They weren't all about sex, but many were. 2005, Charney is accused of ordering the hiring of women in whom he had a sexual interest, conducting job interviews in his underwear, and giving one of the plaintiffs a vibrator. 2008, a former employee claimed Charney ordered her to pretend to masturbate. And in 2011, another former employee accused Charney of violently kissing her.
Charney has been facing lawsuits and accusations of sexual harassment for years.
Do you know how many times you've been sued for sexual harassment?
Maybe a dozen. Maybe less.
He became so notorious, even SNL spoofed him.
You know, and if my employees don't like it, you know what? Sue me.
The publicity you got, most notably for that lawsuit in 2011, in that case, an employee accused you of holding her prisoner in your apartment in Manhattan and forcing her to have sex with you. She sued for about $260 million. What happened in that case?
What happened in that case? Okay, it's confidential. She lost on her sexual harassment lawsuit.
Charney admits to sleeping with employees, but says everything was consensual.
All those accusations are crap. There's allegations, whatever, and we've resolved them. None of these allegations were ever proven.
Charney says some were settled, some dismissed. In any case, they were handled well enough for the company's board to let Dove keep being Dove for years. But then the bottom line started to bottom out.
Experience of 2-3 years. Yeah, we lost a couple $100 million. And I never thought it would be such a difficult job.
And losses piled up, and by 2013, they were hemorrhaging money.
Finally, the combination of red ink and blue headlines came to a head at a fateful board meeting last year in New York, when Dove's head was served on a platter, and 6 months later,
And I finally was out at Christmas 2014.
Among the charges in your termination letter, you are accused of misusing company money, violating the company's sexual harassment policy, going so far as to offer significant severance packages to numerous former employees to ensure that your misconduct vis-a-vis these employees would not subject you to personal liability.
Well, I think those accusations are completely false.
it was an ignominious ouster for the brash entrepreneur, and the press had a field day.
Dove Charney fired by the company's board of directors yesterday.
Have you ever just started crying over what's happening?
Yes. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I've been working 365 for 10 years. Solid, okay, built a massive brand that captured the imagination of the world. And then to treat me like that, to throw me on the street, shame on them. Shame on them. That's my message to them.
But like all great American success stories, he's determined to write a second act.
We're gonna get it back. We're gonna get it back. I gotta be there.
When we come back, Charney takes us deeper into his home, his bedroom, his master bath, where his secret plans are plastered on the walls. How is he plotting to return to power?
It does make sense. I'm not crazy. I'm not.
But would anybody take a chance on a guy doing this on camera? Stay with us.